Hello everybody, I am Ann Robinson. Welcome to my channel where it is awesome to be Ann and it is awesome to be you. Yes it is. And I am coming at you today because what? It's time to what? Elevate our minds because the mental elevation is required. It's been a long time since I've done one of these mental elevation videos, so I figured it's on my mind and it's on my heart to come to you today and just share some thoughts. Okay, and so the card for today, or the word for today, or the thought for today, or the word for a lifetime, because we are not seeking just to change what for today, but for a lifetime. And it looks like someone is trying to interrupt my video, and they didn't. Okay, so let's go ahead. This is wisdom. Wisdom is the word for today. This is what it looks like. And it says, treat everyone and everything with loving compassion. When you see no difference between the sacred and the profane, the saint or the sinner, that is the ultimate wisdom. And what I want to focus on is treating everyone and everything with loving compassion. And not so much when you see no difference between the sacred and the profane, or the saint or the sinner, but to also see no difference between what? You and I. Our color differences, so to speak. I just wanted to kind of speak on it. I was looking at Karina Kaboom, and just watching really a couple of her videos this morning as I exercised, and something she said really stood out to me. And she said that silence is consent. And I thought, okay, I get it. But you know, on my channel, I really try to keep things very, very positive, and just avoiding conflict. I'm not a very confrontational person, nor am I a person that likes to bring up, topics that are controversial, or seems to be controversial. As you can see, I am a black woman. I am fully appreciating all of my blackness, and I appreciate all others, no matter what their ethnicity or their gender or sexual orientation may be. Just one second. Okay, I apologize for that. I took a break so that I could actually do my video. And it seems like I'm getting calls when I shouldn't be getting calls. So yeah, I was saying that, I accept other people. And that's always been something that I personally strive to do, is to treat everyone and everything with love and compassion. For that is what wisdom. I did also check, and I was reading something today that really just stirred me up. And I think that sometimes we just don't know, and we unintentionally have certain things that we that come to mind when we meet individuals. I mean, we call them first impressions. When you meet someone, you get an impression about them. And sometimes if a particular person leaves a bad taste in your mouth, the next person that you meet that brings up something similar to that thought process will have you thinking negatively about that person, that it brings up that similar situation that was a negative experience for you, or myself. But I have learned to practice acceptance, and whatever may first pop up in my mind when I meet anybody, I try really hard not to let my thought process or my belief process affect my behavior or how I treat another person. I try to practice what non-judgment of other folks. And I try to respect people for who they are, people who have feelings. And I do personally care about people, and I do care about people's feelings, which is one reason I don't like to bring up, controversial issues on my channel. But this is life. And life is happening right now, and it seems to be happening things just seems to be spiraling to me in a way that's so negative. And it comes to a point where answers need to come forth, solutions need to be found, and and I think that it takes everybody. It doesn't take just one group of people. I believe that, yes, as a Black person coming together in support of those who are my same ethnicity, it's important that we do support one another and back one another up. But it's also important in the process that we be all inclusive in other ways, and not just kind of be exclusive, so to speak. So I'm speaking to everybody that we should all treat everyone and everything with love and compassion. And I have some questions that can just make stir up thoughts about maybe your own beliefs and maybe not only your own beliefs, but your behaviors behind the things that you believe. Because sometimes we are open to only our perception or our perspective on a thing, when we should be open-minded to other people and their perspectives and perceptions on a thing. We should not only be interested in our own concerns, but we should also be interested in the concerns and interest of others. And we should not look at people as whining, or a group of people whining all the time about what's happening to them, and just really take time out to consider that maybe it's an issue that needs some attention. And if we would look at people as having a voice, and their voices actually being open to what they're saying and understanding, coming from a place of understanding, and how can we make things better, would probably make the world a better place. Here are some questions as I was reading on a particular website, and it just made me think, and maybe it will also make you think. Okay, so here's the first one: practicing acceptance. All right. When you have a monocultural environment, you focus on one culture more than another. Okay, and we don't want to be monocultural. We want to be, diverse in how we think about other people. So, here's a question: how often do I, as an individual, and once again, these are not my personal questions, but this is something that I read and I wrote down some of them, and I want to just invoke thought on your behalf, because I have come to realize that I am not responsible for what other people do, but I can't make other people do what I want them to do, but what I can do is provide knowledge. And what I can do is work on me and work on my behavior only, change me. And if we all work together to change ourselves and hopefully become better people, then we will practice what? Treating everyone and everything with loving compassion. We'll become wise and not foolish, because there's a lot of foolishness going on in the world today. So let's look at it like this. It says, how often do I, as an individual, this is to invoke thought, okay? How often do I, as an individual, challenge others when they make racial, ethnic, sexually derogatory comments. How often do I, as a person, speak up when someone is humiliating another person or acting inappropriately? Do I refuse to participate in jokes that are derogatory to any individual group, culture, gender, or sexual orientation? Do I feed into stereotypes? Do I, as an individual or person, realize that people of other cultures have a need to support each other and to connect as a group? Do I, as a person, accept and reinforce the fact that not everyone has to act or look a certain way to be valued as a person? You know why I want to speak on that just real briefly is that I was totally alarmed that my hairdo, my locks is an issue for some, and also that it is legal to not employ me based on my hairstyle. And I just think that's horrible, because I don't think that a person should be judged on their style, their hairstyle, but they should be judged based on their merits, their ability to perform a job, their work, their ideas. That blew my mind. It's legal. My hair is an issue. So, okay, moving on. So, do we as individuals or people accept and reinforce the fact that not everyone has to act or look a certain way to be valued as a person? Do we encourage other people who are different from us and give them credit and treat them as the valuable people that they are? And sometimes we just lack wisdom about different cultures. And if you don't, find opportunities to expand your knowledge by reading or attending social events or social gatherings, getting to know and be open-minded to other cultures and who they are before you make a judgment that feed into stereotypes about who they are. I have learned that appearances can be deceiving. I might meet someone and have a first impression and be like, I just do not know about that person. But when finally I have a conversation with that person, say hello and speak to them, I'm like, wow, they are awesome. They turned out to be a really great person. And if I judged a book by its cover, I wouldn't have been able to get the goodness that was all on the inside. So, yeah, let me get back to this wisdom, y'all. You want to be wise, then we need to treat everyone and everything with loving compassion. We should see no differences. Yeah, no differences. We should treat everyone and everything with loving compassion. And I'm just going to end on that. Practice acceptance, everybody. Practice inclusion instead of exclusion. All right, in your life. All right, speak up. Don't be silent. All right, I'm not consenting to any wrong that has been done or has been displayed and via the news, social media. Yeah, I am Black and I have concern. I'm a Black person and I have concerns, and I do not like some of the things that I am seeing and hearing. And I am just want to speak out against it. And I don't consent to anyone being treated unjustly. All right? All right. So, yeah, practice acceptance, everybody, because that is wisdom. Again, treat everyone and everything with love and compassion. All right. All right, everybody. That is it. I want to thank you so much for taking out the time to watch my video. Do feel free to leave a comment down below because I encourage that. It's not about me sharing, but it's also about you sharing with me as well. All right. Thank you so much again, and peace and blessings. What? Until next time, everybody.